All right. Well, allow me to correct my previously mentioned mistakes really quickly. Glenn Camp, how much money do you want? Oh, Glenn. Glenny. What are you doing to me, Chief? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to have to adjust that Chorrillo offer. Oh, yeah. And then Felipe Peralta, you're absolutely trash. You can go. Sorry, Felipe. Let's see. Robert Oka. Robbie Oka. It's Tapioca. Camping outside your office, hoping for money. Well, it's going to work because he's going to get paid. Lincoln Hager. Let's go ahead and sign you. Leo Chacon. Aha, Chacon, these nuts. Yep. Beat somebody to that joke. Fernando Rodriguez. Gotta sign Jamie Diaz. Tommy Tran. Mario Acevedo. And Reed Cordero was mine too. He was out of Germany. Mr. Reyes. I need to save some money, sir. Please help me afford Jackson Chorrillo. Lopez, Muncy, Costa, Filler, Garrett Gentry, Brian Park, and Mario Ayala was not mine. The guy's a 36 overall. Nick Gordon was a filler. Whalen, famous Venezuelan. He's Venezuelan. It was right there the whole time. And anyway, Lou Hernandez, Nick Allen, and Hernai. We don't need Daniel Chavez. I know you're 26, but you're not going anyway. Dante Arabu, got to keep you. Luke Gehringer. Save me some money, Lucas. Please and thank you. Anthony Chow. Save me some money. If you would, I am going to have to adjust those contract offers. Right field, Domingo. I mean, you're not particularly good, but I got to keep you. Richie Molina, Reggie Sabel, Britt Delviar, and Eric Merrifield. For the pitchers, Michael Tan, who's looking fantastic. Marvin Duarte, please save me some money. We do have to do the 40-man rosters as well after this. David Chang, we'll hold on to you. Young Woo Lee, hold on to you. Jared Hayes. Let's try to save some money here, Jared. Please and thank you. Fucking Venezuelan. Fonzo Carvajal. Stay on those renewables for now. I gotta pay up anyway. Can we leave Soto off the 40-man? You could, actually. You could. You do got to set up the trade blocks here for the offseason as well. I know he'll be the first guy on that list. Holy starting pitchers. Barry Cox, Cameron Yamaguchi, Enrique Gomez, William Koo, and Miguel Rodriguez. Okay, so money-wise, I am just over. Right. Mr. Alvarado. We need to talk, because I am going to lowball you, and if you take a deal with somebody else, that's perfectly fine. Mr. Chorrillo, I am not going to be able to front load your contract. That's just not going to happen. So this is going to be mighty expensive for me, as you might understand. This has been a wild offseason just due to the position that both of our teams happen to be in right now. How much money can I save on Chorrillo? There it goes. I'm looking at about $36 million a year. Whew. Oh, man. Even then, money-wise, I'm still in trouble. All right, Jackson. I gotta risk it a little bit. Let's try $200 million over 6 years. Shit. Okay. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Before that, the 40-man rosters. Let's get these updated. Make sure we don't lose anybody in Yule Rule 5 draft. I already have a full 40-man, which is a good sign. Get Nick Gordon out of there. Yeah, I mean, if I lose Brendan Donovan, then so be it. You can go too. So I need Rodriguez on the list. Gentry. I mean, if I were to lose, yeah, that's fine. I'm probably taking him right back off the list. David Chang really only looks to be the other guy that I'm worried about losing, and if I lose him, whatever. For Chat's team, Colin Graves. Definitely needs to be on that 40-man. Joel DeYoung at third base. Even though he's 26, still be good not to lose him for anything. For nothing, I should say. Ahmad Munoz. Honestly, if I can fill up both teams' 40-mans, we don't even have to worry about the Rule 5, and there we go. We're on our way. You guys can get Giovanni Cruz off the list. Get Charles O'Connor on there. And then Elise and Hughes as relievers. Loaisaga was still on the 40-man. Surprised Luis Perez was on there. I mean, honestly, if you lose Dougie Walk, that's not a big deal. Gavin Hollowell. Take him out of there. So it was Hughes and Elise. There is Dominic Hughes. And Abraham Elise. All right, we're good to go. Let's see what happens with these gigantic money offers. And I lied. We're not good to go. We got to set up the trade blocks. So close. So for chat, I mean, the decision was to pretty much hold on to Vladdy for the year. There's a lot of people you could actually add to this. I know you want Soto on the block. And again, there are some younger players that you can also add that might be able to get you something here. If you're looking at going for it this year, it is the wisest decision then to still risk some of the future. Anybody that has some value, set them up to try and trade them. And figure it out from there should you not win. It's the way to go. I mean, all of these guys have half-decent potentials. Yeah, except for Dell. So in terms of what to acquire then, I mean, obviously look for a right fielder if you're going to drop Soto. Could look for a first baseman as a backup behind Vladdy, so Tulibits can have a little bit more time in the minors. Could look for a backup third baseman like we talked about. Could look for an improvement backup shortstop. Although, to be honest, probably the other two outfield options are a little bit better. So there you go, chat. Juan Soto is on the trade block. For myself, going to try to get rid of Gabe Moreno. I feel like that's a pretty straightforward decision. Alfonso Hernandez, I don't want to get rid of. Paulie, what's going on? How are you? Casillas. If I can move Rodriguez or Diaz, honestly, I don't really want to move either of them. If I can move Acevedo, I should. Rengifo, Glaber. I mean, if I can move Glaber, I absolutely have to because he's starting to fall off a little bit. Monasterio, Garcia, Brian Park. Yeah, I'll keep Brian Park. If I can get rid of Rocchio, I have to do it. The Rocchio. Keep Waylon Douglas. Keep both those shortstops, actually. So, yeah, we are in different situations entirely, aren't we? Got Gehringer, Anthony Chow. Okay. So I definitely still need center field and right field help. From there, I don't really have a starting first baseman at the moment. Pitching-wise, could still use an improvement at starter. How did you get past shitty NHL games? Matt, elaborate. God, we do still have some relief help that I could go to. If I can get a deal for Duarte. Anybody else with the potential here? Isaiah Campbell's down to an 80. If I can get rid of Campbell, I should. If I can get rid of Suarez, I should. Patino. And get rid of these veterans. I should. You were vocal about being mad about NHL games sucking. Correct. And? I'm confused by the question. Did I just go to other EA games? Kind of. I mean, I haven't played Madden in a while, but, you know, baseball isn't made by EA. Played some NBA 2K in the past couple months. It's obviously made by 2K, so I just enjoy other games that don't frustrate me as much. You were the NHL guy forever. Well, I mean, NHL in a way will still be my home base, I think, but on stream it hasn't always been that way. YouTube it has been. But, you know, if eventually a game's not doing that well, and an aspect of the game, rosters aren't great, and there's no sign of that problem being fixed anytime soon, then why am I going to stick around, right? So instead of it being like, okay, we always go back to NHL, it's the home base, it's really just kind of joined the rest of the variety. It's, instead of it being like, okay, NHL, let's take a break from NHL and then go back. It's like, no, I treat NHL now just like every other sports game, at least on Twitch. It's like, okay, what am I in the mood for? Hockey? Well, do I want to play NHL 24? Do I want to play 2K10, NHL 04? You know, it doesn't exactly have a guaranteed spot anymore. And that's okay. But, you know, it's like I've still worked on the roster editing process, but it's bad. Their provided rosters are so goddamn bad. What I thought I'd be finished with a month and a half ago, by the time this ends up on YouTube, it'll be a fucking year ago. I don't think I'm going to finish it at this point. Like, it's just not, it's not looking good. Unlike my trade block, which looks great. We march, we move. What's going to happen in free agency? Jacob Misorowski is on his way. Imagine the Red Sox spending big money on free agent pitching. What a weird alternative timeline we're in. Jackson Chourio, welcome to the deep. Chourio is a merman. That is the largest contract I've handed out. The best player I've had a chance to sign. And we will see if I've made a mistake or not. Welcome in, Jackson. It is good to have you here. Jose Alvarado signed as well, so I got both of my signings. Am I broke? Oh, not yet. Not yet. I actually have some money left. That's good. I'm not completely broke yet. So that's good. For chat, we'll wait and see if you're going to end up being completely broke. The Braves have offered me a trade. Luis Rengifo for Cole Reagans. Number one, I don't even think I can afford him. And secondly, he's from Florida. So I definitely don't even have access. Oh, God. Matt's still up in the air. I won't go into details, but still up in the air. Gabe Gonzalez, 6-year deal to Washington. Saw the Oats at Mullet Arena last night. I know it's a travesty for a pro team. I disagree. Whatever. The whole Mullet Arena thing doesn't bother me. Because it's like the whole, the Athletics are going to be playing in a AAA. It's a AAA ballpark, right? In Sacramento, not AA. Maybe it is AA. To me, that's a disgrace. Because we know exactly why the owner is doing that. And it's because he's a rich, greedy bastard. Whereas for the Coyotes, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different of a situation. Blake Mitchell, 6-year deal in Pittsburgh. Guardians offer me a trade. Brian Rocchio for Luis Robert Jr. I wish, but I cannot. Matt, thank you for that. I appreciate it. People in Arizona are greedy idiots. I mean, again, we could get into the whole discussion about the history of the Phoenix/Arizona Coyotes ownership issues. But like I said, to me, it's two entirely different situations. Oh, chat. Because you tried to commit to both, the Texans and the Phillies have topped you for Marshall Potter it's unlikely he signs. Aiden Miller, you're still in first for. Not looking good in terms of landing Marshall Potter. Cardinals have offered me a trade. Victor Scott from Georgia, the country. Still not going to take that. The trade offer. Victor Scott, can't take him. Marshall Potter off to Texas for the next 9 seasons. Are you from Canada? Close. From Maine. So I'm surrounded by Canada on, well, 2 sides, and then New Hampshire and the Atlantic. So Marshall Potter took the big-time deal from Texas, $17.2 million a year. You didn't fully commit to him, and he took more money elsewhere. Does leave you available to make a different big move in the future. Aiden Miller, you are still in first for. Mermen have too many players on their 40-man. So, who am I going to drop off of said 40-man? If someone were to claim Edgar Sanchez, then so be it. If someone were to claim Moises Gomez, then so be it. That's my plan there. Drew Thorpe on his way to Milwaukee for the next 4 years. Since you're from Maine, do you love Crosby? Like, oh, hockey fans in that area. I mean, he grew up relatively close, I guess, but not, I mean, love's a strong word. Daniel Espino, 4-year deal for the Braves. Roman Anthony, 6-year deal with the Royals. Still no answer from Aiden Miller. Very surprising. Reed Detmers, 4 years in Colorado. Wow, Miller's waited an entire month. There you go. 4-year deal for Aiden Miller. So you didn't get the pitcher, but you do get that upgrade at third base. As Texas, Jesus Christ, they're spending some money. Matt, no worries. Texas signs Marcelo Meyer. That's a crazy amount of money they've signed or spent this offseason on signings. We do have to cut somebody from your 40-man here. And, well, Dougie Walk's a pretty obvious shout now because he doesn't need to be the backup third baseman this year. Draft lottery's coming up. For the very first time, neither of us will have a shot at the number 1 pick. It is a first in this series as Nick Lodolo takes 1 year in St. Louis. The 2032 draft lottery, I will have the 21st pick, and of course the A's will have the 29th pick as the runner-up behind the World Series champions Rockies, as the Astros, Phillies, and Dodgers are at the bottom. How things change. Texas, by the way, was at number 5 pre-lottery, which with the money they spent, clearly they think they're going to be better. Clearly, the Diamondbacks are the big winners, up 6 spots. Arizona has the number 1 pick in this draft. Finally, it's not me getting screwed by the draft lottery. Thank God. 2 years of the best record in baseball, nothing to show for it. Hey, I mean, one went away. You know, good thing is we can simulate this. Actually, neither of us will come up because we have full 40 minutes. There we go. We'll just go through. And spring training will be next. Ricky Willis, 5 years in Chicago. Yanquiel Fernandez, 5 years in Cleveland. Every time I try to create a custom team, NHL 24 crashes. Sounds about right, Frank. Brett Beatty, a 4-year deal in Baltimore. James Wood, 4 years in Seattle. Dustin May, 1-year deal towards the end of his career in Toronto. They also signed Adael Amador for 6 years. Damn. The Blue Jays being ambitious. The Braves have offered me a trade. I can't take it. You guys haven't gotten a single trade offer. It's a little bit bizarre. Can you believe nobody wants Juan Soto? Cole Young, big sick dude. What's up with the Red Sox actually spending money on starters? Cynical, potentially. There are good custom rosters out there, though, that are kept up to date. Oh my God, the Red Sox. I know it's a third baseman, but Jesus, Joseph Ortiz. Look at the Red Sox spending money. Gavin Cross goes to the Rockies. Dominic Fletcher, 1-year deal in Cincy. Arjun on his way to Pittsburgh for 5 years. Not bad. And we are just about to the start of spring training, which is where we want to be. Cardinals offer me Victor Scott. Can't take him. Can't do it. Leave me alone, St. Louis. Leave me alone, Atlanta. I don't trust either of you anymore. Oh, my God. Yeah, Cole Reagans. Leave me alone. All right, so in terms of money, what is the money situation? You guys have plenty to spend. I have a decent little amount. So, again, we are both allowed one extra signing in spring training to fill out the roster. Taking a look at Chat's team. Again, you really don't need a catcher, so you're fine there. First base, you could get an upgrade on David Tulibitz. We'll be redoing the trade block soon. So, Bobby Dahlbeck, Matt Olson. You could certainly get an upgrade on Tulibitz to let Tuli play in AAA for another year. Second base, you got Lux and Arroyo, so you're good to go there. I mean, Michael Massey's available, though. Third base, I mean, you sign Miller and you have Slaughter, so you're good to go there. And again, Tulibit's at a 70. You don't need the catcher upgrade, and then Lux and Arroyo. Obviously, David Fry is the best player available. Can play a variety of different positions, but it would kind of complicate things at third base. Shortstop, could go for Bo Bichette, Willie Adames, even Corey Seager to get a better backup shortstop into the mix. Then for the outfield, of course, you have Steer, Rafaela, and Soto. You could look for a better fourth option aside from Floyd Horton. Something like Jake McCarthy's not bad because he's fast, but he is a better hitter. There's also Jake Bowers, Trevor Larnach, Gavin Sheets, and right. So what do you guys think for position player? We need a real right fielder. Well, Gavin Sheets is right there. What do you guys think? Shouts for Bo Bichette. Shouts for an outfielder. Again, someone like Jake McCarthy would be a pretty good fit. Gavin Sheets, though, getting a shout. Bo Bichette, Gavin Sheets. Another shout out for Bo. Going once for Bo Bichette. Gavin Sheets ties it up again. It'll either be Sheets or Bichette. Frankie, be a backup behind Bo. It'd just be to get a better backup. Again, spring training signings, a.k.a. depth signings. Bo is ahead. Going once for the gorgeous mane of Bo Bichette to be the new backup shortstop behind Robert Spasato. Going twice for Bo Bichette. We even it up with Sheets. Going once for Gavin Sheets. Going twice for Gavin Sheets. And sold. Be, again, the typical option deal. Backload it. You got plenty of money to sign him. Gavin Sheets on his way to Vancouver. In terms of pitchers, there's basically nobody you can add that does anything, so it's not even worth it. Or it isn't. It's not even worth it. So let's sign my option before I forget. In terms, I mean, there is Freddie Furman, but I really don't need a catcher, even if Moreno gets traded. Could use a better first baseman, but I'm not going to get one. Second base, I don't need the depth. Third base, don't need the depth. I mean, if Fry was available, there is Yu Chang, but shortstop. I need a backup shortstop. Maybe that's where Yu Chang comes in. Well, at the moment, it's going to be Yu Chang for me. And then in the outfield, Edward Olivares. I'm actually kind of good in terms of outfield depth. Young Hooli. For me, it's going to be position player Yu Chang. if he's willing to accept, which he is. And then I doubt I have a pitcher that can fix anything. I could go for Pablo Lopez. Yeah, I don't need a pitcher either. All right, so Wei Chang. It's Yu Chang. Yu Chang, we Chang, we all Chang. We can all change. Taking a look at chat's team here. Jeff Long can go down. That's pretty obvious. Well, yeah, I know the guy's name wasn't pronounced away. Lonnie Duarte, you got to put through waivers again. It just is what it is. Like, he'll probably develop, but no biggie. We'll figure out the rest of the roster from there. We just want to see what the major league's going to look like. David Tulibet's going to be the backup first baseman this year, based off of the signings. So Connor can go down. Second base is Lux and Arroyo. Third base is Miller and Slaughter. So DeYoung and Luis Perez have to go down. Shortstop, Sposato and Naylor. Outfield, Graves, probably going down. Yeah, let him get that full-time playing time. Keep Horton there, because Horton's fast as hell. Unless you wanted Gavin Sheets. What do you want to do, like, realistically, with Juan Soto? You're stuck with him for the year. Aside from being on the trade block, I guess technically, who can play shortstop? Arroyo can play shortstop. So, I mean, technically, you don't need Horton on the team. But he is a good pinch runner. So, pretty much, would you want Floyd Horton as the pinch runner, or would you want Gavin Sheets on the roster? That's your choice, chat. Floyd Horton or Gavin Sheets? Who's that fourth outfielder? And pitching-wise, 1, 2, 3. Damn, Ramirez is ready to go. Full 40-man, though. I mean, DeYoung, if you were to lose him, it's not a big deal at this point. So, get Adrian Ramirez ready to go. How the hell do you stop? What? Just because they got to go through waivers first? All right. Looks like Horton's going to get the shout here. Do got to sim a couple of days through spring training. Fuck, I got to fix my roster up a little bit first. Catchers, Robert Oka. You're going down. First base. Totally forgot that I drafted William Suzuki. William, you're going straight to the majors, buddy. Straight to it. Let's take Garrett Gentry out of there. Is streaming worth the time investment? 100%. It has been for me. All right, yeah, I got to deal with waivers here. All right. Now can we add Mr. Ramirez to your major league roster? Still no. How long are waivers? Goddamn week? Come on. What is happening? I mean, again, sacrifice. But I can't sacrifice Elise yet because you haven't sent him down. You're going to, though. So just send him down to AAA. Get him off the 40-man. I made any friends. Yeah. I mean, I literally just went to North Carolina to hang out with Crash Andrews at a wrestling pay-per-view a month ago. So, worth risking Lonnie Duarte, too, to open up space. So Ramirez to the 40-man. God damn, the closers you guys have. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's between Menard and Morion. Menard can benefit from one more season in the minors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Ponce goes down. Dominic Hughes, Ray Gutierrez. There's going to be a lot of dudes that might have to go through waivers here, but obviously they're not on the major league roster, so not a big deal. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Technically, you can drop one more reliever, which should be Morion. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that way, making use of the ridiculous amount of starting pitching that you guys have on this team. So a general look. I mean, chat's going to be right back up there in contention for a championship this year. That's indisputable. Yuri Perez, Jim David, Richie Christensen, Avi England, and Juan Baroa as the projected rotation with Matthew Harmon and Howie Elliott as long relievers. The rest of the pen is Adrian Ramirez, Kerry Gamble, Gregory Santos, Pedro Ruiz, and Derek Hope. Matt, we just both paid our share to go on the trip. There's nothing complicated. Nothing complicated. The lineup. Robert Sposato, the redemption arc of Juan Soto, Vladdy, Spencer Steer, Rafaela, Gavin Lux, Aiden Miller, William Dalton, John Slaughter at DH. It's still very much in the mix to win a World Series this year. No doubt about it. That window is not closed. Not one bit. For myself here, can I add Suzuki? I cannot. Shit. Is Dougie Ikeda going to make the team? No, he's not. So Dougie, I need you off the 40-man, buddy. And William Suzuki, welcome to said 40-man. Got to send down Efrod. Second base for Rengifo. I always want to say Renfigo. Torres is there. Frank Reyes has to go down. Third base, Monasterio and Garcia. Miguel Perez will go down. Yu Chang will count as the backup shortstop, so I need to open up another spot on the 40-man. Really don't want to lose Robert Oka as a depth option. Rodriguez is there. Can't afford to lose Reyes for nothing. If I were to lose Miguel Perez, that's not the end of the world. So Miggy, I'm sorry, but if I lose you, I lose you. Yu Chang, welcome to the majors. Rocchio there. Outfield. Jesus. All right. Gehringer down. Chow goes down. Don't need Gomez and Wright. 2, 3. And Sam Valley goes down. All right. I think I have my 26 pretty much sorted then. Michael Tan. Welcome to the 40-man roster. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But you are going to get sent down. Duarte goes down. Isaiah Campbell. Might lose him on waivers. Is what it is. Robert Fujita. Enrique Angelis goes down. Gonna put him through waivers too. That sucks, but is what it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Carvajal isn't gonna make it. If I lose him on waivers, so be it. We got Guerrero, David Valdez, not Daniel. All right, down to my 26 here. Rotation is not as strong as what chat's put together over the years. Charles Orozco, Austin Jordan, Luis Garcia, Jason Suzuki, and Orlando Almanza. Jared Hayes as a long reliever with Miguel Quinones, Luis Patino, Jose Suarez, Juan Soto, Edmund Cervantes, and Jose Alvarado in the pen. The lineup, Andrew Monasterio, Jose Azocar, Jackson Churio, Brian Rocchio, Gleyber Torres, William Suzuki, Luis Rengifo, Gabe Moreno, and Matt Seaver. It's yeah, I mean, that might be a playoff roster again. Maybe. But also maybe not. As Isaiah Campbell cleared waivers, you love to see it. So we do obviously have to finalize the teams and everything like that. Hopefully it doesn't change anything. I had a worse record than you guys. So scouts are still the same. And then for you guys, okay, neither of us lost a scout. So we're good to sim to the regular season. Fully set up our rosters, although we do have the trade block first. In terms of the block, again, I am well aware it's Juan Soto that you guys would like to move on from. And again, I mean, you pretty much gave the instruction of, well, you're going for it. So let's see. Are there players to move out to try and accomplish that goal this year and to end this particular challenge. A lot of first basemen. And then, yeah, everybody but Michael Dell. So obviously a right field improvement on Soto. Aside from that, I mean, you could get an upgrade catcher, a better backup first baseman. Second base is fine. Third base is fine. I mean, shortstop and first just to improve the depth. And then the pitching staff is good. So, I mean, that's not bad at all. For myself, try to move on from certain veterans before they fall off a cliff, basically, is the game plan. That's if they haven't already. I hate to say it, I've had quite a few veterans that have fallen off a cliff while under contract here. Even Jackson Chourio, if I get the right offer for him, I'll take it. It's just I need the right offer to pop up. A lot of relievers, not as many starters. If I can move Alvarado, if I can move Patino, Suarez, Campbell, I'll do it. In terms of what I'm looking for, a bit better of a first baseman, aka the dude from the Rockies. Shh. Definitely not him. Oh, no. I need a third baseman that's not Brian Park. I need a left fielder, potentially. Honestly, I'm going to add Matt Seaver to the board for that reason alone, if I can swap Matt Seaver out for that guy. We'll do center field and right field. Okay. So, like I said, we do still have the boring stuff to do of setting up the rosters, but then it's another regular season. Both of us should very much be on track to make the playoffs as you guys, Jesus Christ, fresh off of nearly making it to the World Series. Ramirez, the #1 prospect in baseball. Felix Vargas, Gregorio Munoz, Jordan Gillespie. I do have Waylon Douglas at 10, but my God. 4 players in the top 11 for prospects right now for Chad's team. You're set up for the future, even if you do blow this current team up. That's insane. I don't know if we're going to have anybody else show up here in terms of top prospects for either side. And, well, the Mermen have Duncan Del Villar at 72. Alfonso Hernandez at 83. You guys have right fielder Cameron Wooten at 88. And Gerald Flores at 92. A lot of representation. This chat team is set up so damn well. It's just whether or not they can get over the hump. The hump, the hump, the hump. Sued. So chat, let's do this. The rosters are set. It's the start of a brand new season. Again, a reminder of what things are looking like for the two of our teams as well. You guys got Dalton and Ray as your starting catchers. A whole lot of talent in regards to potentials at catcher. Like, too much talent, if we're being... Someone talking about what you guys need to do with the draft. The answer is not a catcher. Do not draft a catcher unless they're insane. So that's the rare no for catchers. First base. Kind of. Again, Vladdy's leaving. More than likely. None of these guys are guaranteed to be the guy. Like, Tulibets could be a stopgap, but none of them are guaranteed to be the guy. Second base, you got Mullen, you got Blanco, Hitchcock. Like, again, they're good, but that's kind of in the kind of territory. Third base, you're good, right? Like, Miller's young. You got Casey Wolf in the system there, too. Gerald Flores further down. Third base is only if they're really, really good. Shortstop. Shortstop's in the kind of, because Sposato's young, but the only guy that you really have in the system is Johnny Belanger. That might even be in the yes. Because Belanger is definitely not a guarantee to make it. In the outfield, you do have Colin Graves, Felix Vargas. I'd put left field in kind of, just because you at least have Spencer Steer's replacement should you not find somebody else. Center field. Center field should be on your list this year. I know Rafael is 32, but yeah, it's a good time to start looking at other center fielders. And then in right, you do have Spencer Sato and Cam Wooten. Obviously, no guaranteed replacement for Juan Soto. So that could be in yes, just because of what's going on there. And then pitching for you guys, as always. I mean, the bullpen right now is really coming together. That's been a huge focus for you guys. You do need to start finding some starters again, like Jim David's 29. So it'd be up to you if you wanted to focus on right field or starters, but starters at the very least is in that kind of territory. For myself, when talking about the upcoming draft, I'm good at catcher. Alfonso Hernandez in the system. Like I'm shockingly good at catcher. How much is Soto making really quick? You couldn't have asked that 3 minutes ago when I was on your roster. Damn it, chat. Damn it. He's making $24.6 million this year. Oh, chat can never do anything easy, can they? They never can. For myself, like I said, I don't need a catcher. First base, Diaz, Rodriguez. I'd put it in kind of. I don't have like the guaranteed awesome option, but it's not that bad. Second base, I got Reyes in the mix, but really nobody else. I am going to need second baseman. Rengifo and Torres are both freaking 36. At third, I have nobody. Third base is, again, a huge need for me. Shortstops. I'm good. Left field, Valley, Chavez. And put that in the kind ofs. Center field, I mean, Churrio's here. A couple other, I'd put it in center field just in terms of depth, because Chow and Gehringer are great. And then I desperately need an actual right fielder. Desperately. And then, as always, pitching is in kind of. So, that is the deal there. That is the deal. Will this be the final season? It very well could be. Chat's A's ranked 30th in defense, by the way. All because of Juan Soto. But the trade blocks and everything have been set up. Good to go. Let's see what happens this year. The A's will still very much be championship favorites. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. The A's get the first trade offer of the year. Taps, what did you do? That's just mean. That's just so mean. It's just so... I love your lazy photoshops, by the way. We had that section, I think we still do, on the Discord, of just the laziest goddamn photoshops. Right fielder Clark Elliott for backup shortstop Miles Naylor. Given that you signed Gavin Sheets, you really don't need Clark Elliott. He's 32, so that's not worth it for you guys. All right, we get ready for scouting. Vancouver 3-5 to start the year. So for you guys, as always, feels like forever since we scouted. It'll be shortstop, center, and right field as the initial focus. And then we will take it from there. For myself, I just have to hope that people fucking exist. Please. Please let play. You know what? I'm not even going to discover yet. We'll do that at the end. I still love that goddamn Colombian generational talent just decided not to play baseball. So mad. Number one prospects out of South Dakota. Jesus Christ. I'll start looking at catchers. Do I have any catchers this year? Milt Watanabe. Ah, yes. The great Japanese name, Milt. There's also Ichiro Yamazaki, instant draft pick. His name is Ichiro. And Felipe Tejada out of Venezuela. That'll be the focus. The cartel got him. I mean, honestly, it's as good of a guess as anything else, man. It really is. Anthony Chow for Clark Elliott. I know I can't take Clark Elliott. Tried that super intense hockey manager game. I forget what it's called, but it's a franchise monster. Yes and yes. None of these guys are looking particularly amazing. David Ryu. Cash Burns. That's a great name. Cash Burns. When the wallet's so fat. Cash Burns. First base. Joakim Zavala. Joaquim, perhaps, if you prefer. And Peter Ono. Sums up my team pretty well when someone's named Ono. So center field and right field are next. Center field west and center field central. We march. Glenn Camp for Sandy St. John, Dominican Republic. Son of a bitch. I can't take him. All right. You guys are all just mid. Chris Hero's nephew. Yeah. All right. Well, we had Zavala. Peter Ono. Nicaragua's not available to me. Canada. And all right. Not much for first baseman. Second base. Robert Ackerman. Out of the Netherlands. Anybody else? Rodrigo Leon. Panama's not available. Alfonso Franco. On second baseman. All right, and then for you guys, we're going to continue to look at center field. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. 12-9 start for the A's. Mermen get a trade offer. Gehring. I can't acquire Clark Elliott. I'm sorry. I would if I could, Minnesota. What if I could? Bitch. There's a movie reference that 3 people will get. Stubbs, just search Tookie24 on Spotify and you'll find my stream playlist. I don't do playlists, man. I just dump every song I like into one playlist and that's it. So... organized playlists are for nerds. Panama, Venezuela, we already looked at him. Venezuela, we looked at him. Netherlands, we looked at him. Okay. Third base, Alex Burt. Burt. Any third baseman at all? Michael Ko. Michael Ko. Chad, oh yes, the great Taiwanese third baseman, Chad. Woody Gonzalez, Odell Flood out of Maine. What a man. And Dick Sato. We'll take a look at old Dick Sato. Out the dick to go. And then for you guys, it's the final right fielders, and then we can look at the top of the board again. Or we can look at the kind ofs. Let me know. Do you want to look at the kind of needs, or do you want to start looking at the top of the board? Let me know what you think. Royals offer me Fletcher Kohler out of Kansas. The great foreign land of Kansas. Old Kansas. All right, so for chat... looks like top of the board is going to be the call, since you looked at your 3 biggest needs. Ralph Rangel. Yep, well, all these guys. 2 starters and a closer. There you go. Didn't even know where it came from. I did, because you said it in chat. I just wasn't paying attention. I don't respond to every message type. That'd be a recipe for madness. All right. Goodness. Okay, what do we got? Please. That guy out of Japan wasn't that good. Michael Ko. Not much going on for us at third base either. Shortstops. Anybody? Michael Nam. I think was in last year's draft. James Kim. South Korean takeover. And never mind, the takeover stopped at 2 people. Left field. Left field. Okay, not a single left fielder. Center field. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. There's nobody to play. There's Michael Shirley. I am, in fact, serious. You guys looking at those top options off the board. All right. 20-20 for Vancouver, 16-22 for the Mermen. Neither of us really performing at the level that I think was expected this year. Napoleon Gamble, Elliot Gilliland, and Mark Otto taken to the Matthews Bridge. Starter, closer, second. Be the setup for the week. And, well, center fielder Michael Shirley, my scouts don't hate. I am going to have to scout out people specifically, which is never good. Michael Shirley is going to be the only guy. All right, right field, Lou Rivero. Top right fielder is a Venezuelan, thank God. Also got Mariano Velasquez. And that is it. All right, off to pitchers. Do we have a pitcher? David Pereira. So right field. And then we'll be looking at relievers from there. For you guys, we did that first, so we're good. Let's keep it moving. Almost into June. Jose Suarez for leave. I don't want Clark Elliott. Leave me the hell alone. God, it's like, it's the are we there yet of trade offers. It's like, I will let you know if I change my mind. Thank you. Let's see, Carlos Ramos, Will McMahon, and Jacob Perez. So catcher, starter. And then for myself, oh boy, this is not looking like a great draft class for yours truly. I mean, at least I don't have the pressure of like a top pick this year or anything. Yeah. All right, relievers. Shout out to a Mainer. Keo Little. First rounder, unbelievable. We got Sam Mora. Not much else. Jamaica and Puerto Rico don't count for me. Byron Daniels out of the Netherlands. And Benito Ornelas. Welcome in, Benito. All right. Another week. You guys get a trade offer. Luis Toribio for second base project Raul Blanco. I mean, so that would improve your backup first baseman situation. Your backup would go from a 70 overall to an 80 with Toribio. Blanco is good, but not great. You know, it's like he'll be a major leaguer at like 27, 28. I mean, if you're truly going for it this year, there's really no reason to not take this trade for Luis Toribio. It improves the backup first base situation. You get rid of a prospect that you really can't count on anyway. And you have 2 other prospects here in Kerry Mullen and Virgil Hitchcock. If you're focused about going for it, this shores up your chances with some good depth. Dimma says go for it. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Luis Toribio to Vancouver. And then I'll allow you to send Tubilowitz or Tulibitz, whatever the hell, back down to AAA. And from there, Deerdorf can go to single. All right. Let's see. Scouting. Still 500 for Chat's team this year. That's a bit surprising. That is a bit surprising. Phil Johnson as a starter. Michael Galindo at first base. And Lucius Powell. Starter, first base. And for myself, Sam Mora looks good at least. Any other relievers? Theodore Cho. We got old Theo Cho. Who else do we got? Nicaragua's not available to me, which again is such a piss take. Jamaica's not available. Venezuela, Javi Navarro. Anybody else? Nicaragua, Jamaica. More Venezuela. Okay, a lot of Venezuelans for relief. That's always fun. Venezuela to glory continues. As Vancouver won every single game in the past week. Not bad. That is more of what we expect from them. Reliever Dwight Williamson. Sam Mora, who you can't go after. Russell Rocker. What a name. Taker, what's up? Shout out to Russell Rocker and Salvador Pereira out of Puerto Rico. Starters and relievers. A lot of good starting pitching talent in this draft, which is good news for Chat. In terms of the relievers. What else do we got? I already looked at Sam Mora. Carlos Ramirez. Byron Daniels. I think that's about it. No, Carlos Rincon. Not projected to be drafted. There's a lot of relievers that aren't projected to be drafted. Anybody else? Venezuela for Javi Navarro. Yeah, we're off to starters. Any starting pitching talent that wants to be available to go to Atlantis. Peter yes, the great Venezuelan Peter. Ezra Rodriguez is also there. Peter Bassett. The Hound, they call him. Surprised they haven't had a combine day. Me too. Blue Jays, third baseman Eric Duarte. Not available to me. That's a shame. Really good run of form for Vancouver lately, but still behind the Angels. Let's see, who else do you guys have at the top of the board? Rivera out of Illinois. Stanley Severs. I thought it was Stanley Shivers. But Stanley Severs is still a good name. Tommy Galvin. Left reliever and starter. And for myself, yeah, none of these guys. Well, Peter Bassett has some draft hope. Not much, but some. All right, what else do we have for starters? We looked at Ezra Rodriguez. Is there anybody better than Ezra? See, that's a band name, kids. Bill Gonzalez. Not bad, hopefully. Look to Peter Bassett. Leslie Conrath out of Australia. All right. Got the Diz. What's going on? Please tell me that's a setup for a Diz Nuts joke. And how many times have you heard that? You have to be skeptical of people on Twitch, you know? David Hong out of South Korea. All right. I think Jesus has been at the Angels games this season. Has he been chilling in the outfield, Dimma? Look at you making references. Chris Ibar. God, if I did international and not North America, I'd be able to trade for him. That'd be a really good deal for me. Didn't happen. 42-28 for Vancouver. Good Lord. They have been on fire as of late. Absolutely crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. After a slow start, maybe a World Series Game 7 loss hangover. They have finally started to find their game. And I can't find anybody to actually play the game. Tommy, bye. Tommy, bye. Bye, Tommy. Tommy, bye. Anybody else? David Hong was still there. I imagine that's about it. All right. Well, I need to start trying to discover more people. Is what I have to do. So let's do that. And chat will still be looking towards the top of the board, just hoping that the AI makes a dumb mistake and a good player falls to you. Got Randy Irizarry out of Maine. Hunter James, the center fielder. And Carmen Nava, a couple of center fielders and a starter. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. Crazy month. Jonas Vaccaro, Dominican. Can't trade for him. You know this. By the way, Colorado. We didn't check because they haven't done any trade offers. They only signed him for 1 year on the arbitration. I need Hiroki to be a part of this team. I've been holding on to hope for like 6 seasons now. One of these days it'll happen. Or he'll sign a massive contract with that team and I might break down and cry. Keo Little is available. Martin Ibarra. And Israel Uribe. Starter, reliever. Pretty straightforward for chat. I found 3 pitchers. That's fun. Can I actually do anything with them? Blair Huber, Bo Santos, and Merced. Well, I can scout Bo Santos, even though he looks like he's tragic. And we'll see if Bo knows how to play baseball. End of the first half of that season. Now 50 wins for the Couve. Absolutely crushing it this season after a pretty middling start. Crazy turnaround, but that team has too much talent to not be capable of that. Elijah Falk, the penultimate week of scouting. Sam Mora you can't go after, but Roger Rimo you can. So relief and second baseman. Pretty much guaranteed to get a good pitcher at the very least. Let's see, I found 1 infield prospect. Max Bradley on a candidate. Yeah, I am not going to have much available to me here at all. Top players then for me that I haven't fully scouted out yet. Sweet Jesus, I got to go all the way down to Sam Mora. Oof. This is not going to be a good time for me in this draft, that's for sure. It's going to be one of the weaker ones. We got Leslie Conrath. Unless some of these guys prove to be surprisingly good, it's not going to be a great time for me in this upcoming draft. Lou Rivero. Reliever, starter, and right. Well, there we go. That worked out pretty well then, didn't it? Atlantis is having a drought somehow. Well, you know. It's the magic dome that keeps us from getting wet. Gleyber Torres for Corey Howell. I cannot trade for Corey Howell. I would have loved to have gotten rid of Gleyber's contract. You don't have a second. Shh. So you guys like the Roger Rimo. And now you know to avoid the hell out of him. Let's see. So we got Mora that you can't go after. Ronald Mortero. Let's see. You got again. Couldn't go after Mora. Jesse Cooper. Gopa. And Brandon Saito. So first, center field. And reliever, the final bit of scouting. For myself, I'm just going to get these guys fully scouted, I guess. I guess that's the way to do it. There we go. We're off to the 2033 draft. A trade offer from the Padres. I can't take Corey Howell. I wish I could. It was a much later All-Star game this year by a week, but still. Andres Munoz traded to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays showing some ambition. What's your final prediction for a Blue Jays record? I don't have one. Let's see. Chat right now sitting at what? How the fuck did you swing a 10-game lead on the Angels? Like, I know you've been playing well recently. How bad have they been? Yeah, that's a lot of losses. Holy shit, have the Angels just choked. Mermen currently 9.5 back of the Phillies. Good Lord. Well, chat, it might be the year. 2033 draft, obviously, with both of our teams in this situation. It's not going to be as, like, hyped up of a draft as we've seen in the past. The Diamondbacks have the #1 pick in this draft. And they take the starting pitcher, Ralph Rangel, who, looks like he could be absolutely insane. The second overall pick is Mark Otto, the second baseman, off to Philadelphia with his lovely Jerry Curl. And your third overall selection, Eric Goodwin, starting pitcher to the Dodgers. So I have the 21st pick. Chad has the 29th. And, well, with the 21st pick, who the hell am I possibly going to be able to take in this draft? First option is Leslie Conrath. Did somebody take that fucking reliever? No, he just must have fallen off the board and hit his head. Or he just elected not to go pro, because that just happens to me all the time for some reason. I was kind of hoping, yeah, there he is. I was kind of hoping there'd be some, like, last second addition to the board that I didn't get a chance to scout yet. That is not the case. I am going to have to eat this mid sandwich and learn to like the taste of it. Got Peter Ono. Lou Rivero, Rodrigo Leon. Can't go to Nicaragua. Tommy Bai, David Hong. Ichiro Yamazaki. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anybody new. Wilt Watanabe. Velasquez. Carlos Ramirez. Is that it? Byron Daniels, James Kim, Michael Coe, Michael Nam, Richard Sato. So second round pick for me, but I got picks 21 and 39. Sam Mora was projected to go 22nd, which is interesting. So if I want him, I probably have to take him now. 18-year-old reliever, Sierra B, Conrath, Sierra B. Bassett does have a chance of being an A. Zavala has a very slim chance of being an A. Just gotta figure, when's my pick after this? 99. Jesus. So I gotta be looking at dudes. I mean, Lou Rivero was supposed to be 23rd. My scouts say he absolutely sucks. So Peter Ono, 69 to a 96. Pure boomer bust. Michael Shirley could be a great fielder. 63 to a 90. There's Ackerman, who could be insane, according to my scouts. Potentially up to an 82 overall. There's Zavala. And then Bassett. So I'm looking at Ono, Ackerman, Zavala, and Bassett as that kind of top four. I didn't really trust either of those relievers. So Bassett could be an A. I got 57 seconds. Bassett could be an A. Zavala could be an A. Ackerman might not be an A, but he could have the highest overall. When's my next pick after? It was 30-something. Ono could have the highest ceiling. Zavala could have a good overall. Ackerman, Ono, Zavala. I'm going to go for Robert Ackerman, the second baseman, because it was the biggest need, and just hope he's actually good out of the gates. Robert Ackerman, welcome to Atlantis. We'll take the risk on you. Chat's up next at number 29. Let's see here again. Chat's biggest need: shortstop, center field, right field. You got Adam Singleton, though, and Elliot Gilliland. I mean, Singleton looks like he's insane because he's at least a 70 overall. So he's certainly better than Gilliland. 70 to 95 for a starter. Pretty broad ranges here. Galvin's not great. I mean, 78 to 95 for a reliever, but the other closer's better. Chad, it's fairly obvious. It's either you take a risk for someone who might fit the need, or you just go for that closer because he's insane. It's a pretty obvious decision. There's a lot of crazy ranges. It's pretty obvious that Adam Singleton should be the guy. Second-ranked player in this draft. You get another great closer. He's the best available. To get this guy at pick number 29 is insane. So, Adam Singleton off to Vancouver. The only way it's a disaster is if he's actually hurt and his overall for some reason plummets, but it's unlikely. All right, you guys are actually up next at pick number 34. So now is the time. You do have that other closer, actually, in Gilliland. So you could go for the other potentially really good closer who was viewed as a top 5 pick. Or you take a risk on somebody in a position of need, which again, shortstops, high risk, high reward, Carlos Escalona, especially with that overall range. Center field, Terry Pineda, high risk, high reward. There's also Charles Lowell, 81 to a 98, but his overall could be low. He wasn't looking that bad. Nobody else. I'm going to go back and check shortstops to see if there was anybody else with that crazy of a range, and there isn't. And then right field, high risk, high reward, Rick Huntley. Or you could go for a starter. Salvador Pereira, 70 to a 95, could have a good over-AR. High risk, high reward for Eric Barr. For Frederick Provil. For Russell Rocker. I mean, there's a lot of high risk, high reward pitchers here that we're seeing. A lot of them. So, again, Gilliland as a closer. Best player available, clearly. It's just, do you want to go for more of a need? Which, again, shortstop, center right, and then starting pitching was kind of in that secondary tier with first base, second, and left. Gilliland or Escalona. Again, shortstop, center field, and right were the 3 highest needs in this year's draft. Escalona, super high risk, high reward. Same for Pineda. Lowell was the 81 to a 98. Huntley, high risk, high reward, and then it goes to starters. Gilliland, Escalona. Looks like it's between Gilliland and Escalona, with Gilliland getting the shout. You do have pick 42 coming up as well. Escalona's projected around that time. Gilliland will not fall to you. Someone will take him. Gilliland's the pick. Chat doubles up on closers and the best available. It's the smartest move. It's the smartest move. Take the slam dunk picks. I'm up next at 39. Zavala, Ono, or Bassett? Do I go for Zavala to hope for a higher overall, or do I go for Ono or Bassett? I mean, Bassett could have the higher overall, too. It's just for the fact that Zavala looks like a great contact hitter, and he's a switch hitter. Ono's overall looks like it's going to be in the fucking doldrums. I mean, Bassett's ranges are better than Zavala's. That's for sure. So it's either Ono or Bassett. I'm going to go for Peter Bassett as a starting pitcher here. Chat's up next to 42. Escalona's still there. Do you go for the high risk, high reward shortstop, Carlos Escalona? Your next pick is 64th. And again, if this guy hits, he's going to be the home run of all home runs. Maybe he's mid, who knows? But this is the time to kind of risk it. All right, Escalona's the guy. There you go. Could be an amazing pick. Let's see, chat's up next to pick number 64. That center fielder, Charles Lowell, is still there with a guaranteed B potential. Again, there are a couple of starters that were super high risk, high reward as well. But center field was a bigger need. And chat's going with Charles Lowell. I mean, seems like a smart move. Let's see who's up next between the two of us. I am at pick number 99. Peter Ono's still there. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Peter, welcome in. Hope for the best. Chat's up next at 107. You got a minute. So high risk, high reward starter, Denny Gill. Thomas Reyna, the overall's high, potentially. C to B for that guy. That's just starting pitchers that were left, by the way. Steven Hernandez at shortstop, 66 to a 98. 61 to 95 for reliever Carlos Cortez. Aquino at third base could have a good overall. Third base, Kyler Roberts, high risk, high reward. So you got a couple of starters, couple of third basemen. Third base was a not need. Starter was a kind of. Shortstop was a yes. Reliever was a kind of. Shouts for Reyna. A shout for Hernandez. Hernandez. It's a little bit behind Reyna. Reyna's still ahead with 5 seconds left. It's close. Reyna still has the tiebreaker, and he gets it. It's pretty close in chat, but given you took a shortstop before, Reyna wins the tie. Let's see, round number 4. Pick 129. David Hong, Ichiro Yamazaki. Hong could have a good starting OVR. Yamazaki's a big-time project. There's Watanabe. Shit. So Hong could have the really good starting overall. Not projected to be drafted, though. He might keep slipping. When's my next pick after this? It's 129, and I have another pick until 159. Yamazaki might slip. So it's either Watanabe or Hong. And I'm going to go for Watanabe. I'll take the catcher, Milt Watanabe. Just to aim high. Chat's up next to 137. That's shortstop. Steven Hernandez is still there. High risk, high reward shortstop. There's Otto Bernstein. Anybody else with super high potential? Sammy Velasquez at shortstop. High risk, high reward. Chat seems to want to go with the shortstop. That's fair. Steven Hernandez, there you go. It worked out well for chat. This could be another fantastic draft. 159. I just missed out on Ichiro. And by just, I mean by a bit. So Ramirez, Kim. Oh, boy. It's going to have to be Carlos Ramirez. A couple of guys I wanted are off the board. That's a shame. I'll go for Carlos Ramirez as a reliever. Chat's up next at 167. High risk, high reward reliever, Richard Feliz. Anybody else? 65 to 99. Peter Pike as a catcher. 80 to 99 for third baseman Andy Novoa at 21 years old. And Max Bradley at third base. High risk, high reward. Blair Huber as a reliever. High risk, high reward. Those are the 5 left, chat. Again, center field, right field, top priority, but it's not really there. Pike or Novoa? Pike right now ahead of, or actually Novoa ahead of Pike by a vote. Novoa still ahead. Novoa up by 1. Novoa up by 2. Now 3. Looks like Andy Novoa is going to be the guy at third base. Novoa's the guy. Chat goes for the third baseman, Andy Novoa. We go to the final round. I have 4 possible selections. Could go with James Kim, who could be a B. Obviously not going to be Michael Nam. It's either Richard Sato or James Kim. Sato obviously could have the good batting out of the gates. Kim could be a much higher potential, though, although his overall might not be as high. I think at this point, I just got to go for the higher overall with Sato. Hope he's a C with a good starting OVR. Yeah, sorry to James Kim. We're going for the third baseman, Richard Sato. And chat's final pick is either third baseman Max Bradley, the switch hitter, or relief pitcher Blair Huber, who apparently has elite velocity already. So Huber is a fireballer. Bradley at third base. Huber is ahead. The runner-up to Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Almost Irrelevant. And Blair Huber is chosen. So that is it for the 2033 draft. And obviously, we'll see how things played out, but got a feeling it was a home run for chat.